Hi, this is Snoop Dogg, and you're about to see the best sports and entertainment talk show on the internet with your host, Troy Geary. The man who seems to go to every sporting event, and Dave Stevens born without legs, but won 7 Emmys and played college football and minor league baseball. Throw in Will Stein wherever Will Stein is, and you've got a heck of a show. It's the Geary, Stein, and Stevens Show. Faux shizzle.
Everybody, welcome back for our final show of the day here at Radio Row. And as they say, we have saved the best for last. I have got the honor to introduce who I think is one of the absolute greatest running backs in the history of the NFL, Mr. Marcus Allen, joining us, the Hall of Famer. And Doctor, please introduce yourself. I didn't get the name when we introduced yourself.
Christina Gavignano.
Christina Gavignano, Doctor.
Yes. She is the Barry Sanders of doctors. I just want to let you know that.
You're not going to quit, are you?
No, sir. We're going to be here together until the
She's
end.
at the top of her. She's a touchstone.
They are both here to talk a little bit about advancing brain health and athletes' well-being, which, as we know, Marcus, a lot of your brothers are no longer here due to the brain injuries, the trauma, taking their lives, the suicides that have happened. So why is this so important, not just for football players, but everybody?
Well, mental health, brain health are all important. We play a very, very difficult game and stuff. And the last thing we want to do is abandon our brothers, especially those who are dealing with CTE, concussions. Over the years, I've noticed changes in some of my teammates, and it's not something pleasant to see. So Emory is creating solutions that would impact people that are experiencing certain issues as it relates to CTE and concussions that would certainly help them out in the future.
And I have talked to a lot of your former colleagues, players, guys that you played against. Brett Favre was on earlier talking about he's got Parkinson's, which they say has basically been caused by all that. Are you starting to notice, and I mean, you were one of the hardest running backs ever, but have you noticed things? I've had a lot of the players say, I forget things, I'm like, why am I holding my phone? Just little things that they're worried about that is starting to scare them.
No, I've been one of the lucky ones. But I'm certainly aware of talking to people. I even have people that come to me and they say, have you noticed certain things about a certain friend? So there are other people noticing things as well, so they bring that to my attention. And again, I think Christina will tell you that I think inflammation is one of the things that causes most long-term and short-term issues. And so I know there's therapies, therapeutics rather, out there in trials right now that I think are on the precipice. So breakthrough, hopefully, that will help short-term and long-term issues that
And Doctor, it's one of those things that's not like you get a new hip, a new arm, new bones and things like that. Can we rewire the brain? Can we fix the things that are broken? I know Jim McMahon had a lot of stuff that was done to him. Bernie Kosar has had some stuff done to him that has changed him immensely in the last couple of years. So is it treatable? Is it fixable?
Sure, this is a fantastic question. When you're dealing with the human brain, it's not mechanical in the sense that you're talking about. We're not talking about adding something back and preparing it that traditional way. But yes, we do believe that CTE, especially if you can catch it before it's gotten to the severe, is something that can be slowed down or even reversed. And the concept there is if you've got this chronic inflammation in the brain, which we know exists from repeated head traumas, it is just smoldering for years and years and years. And when it does that, it causes all the cells in your brain to not behave properly. The neurons ball up and don't reach out and talk to one another. And little by little, that causes those cells to eventually die. But if we can catch it, which we know over doing with the therapeutics actually reverse that dysfunction. And the neurons start behaving again. They start reaching out and talking to their neighbors. All the other cells start doing what they want to do. So the thought here is, can we put out that smoldering fire before it becomes a raging forest fire? There's real hope here to be able to provide a therapeutic that can really slow things down and or potentially reverse, but it's a very delicate thing, unlike this mechanical intervention in other ways.
Why is it so important to bring this up at the Super Bowl?
Well, it's a larger stage, but it's much larger than just a game. It affects, we talked about earlier, we talked about soldiers. It affects non-athletes. This is something that happens unfortunately. It's a great challenge for all of us, and especially I think Emory is doing whatever we can to tackle that. What's ahead? That's one of the reasons I jumped on board as this team.
We got to fix a lot of those. We're going to talk a little football as well. Troy has a question for you. Troy?
I know everybody knows you played with the Chiefs towards the end of your career. What do you think is going to happen on Sunday? And do you think when the Chiefs pull it out and get a free kick?
Well, the Chiefs, there are 4 or 5 times this year I thought they were going to lose. They find a way to win. And that's something to be said, right? And on paper, I think a lot of people thought Buffalo was going to go in and beat them. There were a few other teams that I thought the Raiders even had a chance, but they just find some way to win the game. And I think they have been in the most trying situations and have come through. And that this just gives them more and more confidence. When most people would panic in situations like this, they're Andy Reid and Mahomes are just as calm and collected as you get, and that's a lot to be said. Defensive coordinator has done an outstanding job. He has to pick his poison. I think number one, you have to stop Barkley, right? But then you have other weapons on the outside. You look at Philadelphia; they're one of the teams that have been put together better than anybody out there. They've done a masterful job of putting together the team. They deserve a lot of credit. It's going to be interesting to find out what's going to happen.
You mentioned Barkley. Is he a running back, or are there a running back or two that kind of remind you of your style? I mean, nobody's going to be like you, but there are ones that run you.
No, there's nobody. There's nobody that's jumped backwards. He needs his head examined for doing that now, but that just shows you his ability to think at that moment and then to execute. I mean, who would ever do that? Right? I dove, going forward over guys, jumped over.
We saw you fly a lot,
right? Yeah. I would fly, but never did I ever think about, jumping, going backwards and then jumping over somebody. Listen here, man, that's insane. That's crazy. But he's had the one thing I wish that he would have tried for the record, because I think all the stars were aligned, right? And you never know if you're ever going to get that opportunity again, right? And you do it for a variety of reasons, not just for yourself. You do it for your high school. You do it for
your offensive line.
The offensive line. You do it for your coach, right? You do it for the name on the back, right? My dad has been just the most impactful person in my life, and understanding rather his growing up and the difficulties there, and then have an opportunity for his son to do something well. I did it for all the things that I did it for my dad. My dad was the third father ever to have his son inducted into the Hall of Fame speech. That was important to me. I wanted everybody to know who my father was. The name on the back of the jersey meant a lot. My high school that I go to now, years later, means a lot. So to have that, that name is number one. A lot of people hang their hats on that.
Speaking of hacks, Doctor, we watched the NFL get the safety helmets, and first it was almost like, oh, you're a wuss, you're going to wear that helmet in the game. But it really has made a difference in a lot of players avoiding concussion, a lot of that head trauma.
Yeah, so we've seen those come out, and I think at this point we're just kind of watching and seeing about the number of individuals that actually are using them and how that data is crunched. So I can't really speak to it too much in terms of the impact, no pun intended, although I specifically did well there. But conceptually, the idea that the NFL is paying attention, and we're having these conversations now where they really were not prevalent, that's fundamentally the first step in being able to move forward, have player safety and brain health really be something that is what we share together. So I'm very happy to see that these things are happening. It's really a beautiful path forward, I believe.
You're funny too. I didn't know.
Thank you, sir.
You got jokes, Barry.
And we didn't ask you your thoughts on your pick. You got
Oh,
any
thank
skin in
you.
the game?
Well, I was a Patriots fan. I grew up in Massachusetts, so we had our heyday. It was a good time. We had a lot of slot receivers that were very fun to watch, I got to tell you.
Oh, she's good. I'm telling you. She's throwing out some knowledge right now. She's throwing out. Go ahead, keep going.
All right. So, I'm going to say the probably unpopular thing that I think, because Jalen Hurts, he's dynamic, he's dual threat. This is a guy that is maybe not the fastest dual threat, but he does an awful lot. He knows how to get the first down. We're not about him when he needs to. Just the concept that you've got him there. I think he's got a little chip on his shoulder, especially because coming out of college, he was benched for Tua. And arguably, I think he's had a fantastic career as a non-first rounder. It's really remarkable. Just a class act. Rebuilt himself at Oklahoma. I think this is his time. I really do.
And you talked about New England. Obviously, they had Aaron Hernandez, and we saw what his brain was like due to the trauma that he had. It's not an excuse for his actions, but it is more plausible that can lead to causing those actions or just not being who you were.
Just not being who you were. The thing is, when you look at Aaron Hernandez's brain, and we collaborate with the Concussion Foundation, they have his brain. There are literal holes all over his brain because the inflammation was so bad that it eventually creates holes. And when that happens to you, you're no longer yourself. You're not in control of who you are. And as you said, it certainly doesn't justify actions, but it helps us understand what is going on and kind of the empathy behind it, and also using that as a path to try to move forward and address it in a clinical way to try to help people.
And Marcus, I know you got to go. Last question. Your greatest moment, your greatest memory as a professional football player?
I think for me, it was the Hall of Fame. It was a culmination of my decision to make to play the game at 10 years old. I tell people at the age of 10, I made a decision what side of the television set I wanted to be on. I wanted to play and not watch. And I did everything to that end. But that was a day really to honor my parents more than anything else, which is the most important thing to me, right? And so that day was really special because I had instructed my dad to, I said, Dad, listen, to write a speech, and I had my older brother to sort of overlook what he was going to write. And what happened was that sort of did a little proofreading and stuff, and then what I said, Dad, no. You're saying what everybody else is already saying. You're kind of bragging about me. It's not about that. It's about a father-son relationship all these years, right? And so he just wrote the most beautiful story. And when he was introducing me and the things that he said, I just looked at him in amazement. And I said, Dad, that's what it's all about. Our journey together is not about anything else. And so that goes back to what I said about one of the most important days was the Hall of Fame, because it was a culmination of all the work and the journey.
Beautiful, beautiful. On that note, we'll let you go. Thanks again so much and how can people find out more information about the website and what you guys do?
Sure. So if you just Google humanhealth.emory.edu, that will take you to our overarching website, and then over there is the Gavignano Drug Discovery Program, and we have videos about our neurotherapeutics program, and you can learn about our ongoing clinical trials.
All right. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Go enjoy the rest of the week.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Marcus.
Thank you, my man.
Marcus Allen,
Appreciate
Doctor,
it.
thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Do the best, brother. Thank you.
Oh, we didn't give you your gifts. Hold on a second. Can somebody reach under there and grab me 2 of those, or do I have 2 up here? Yeah, here we go. These are lovely cell phone chargers.
Oh, thank you, my
I
man.
have both ends and everything, so there you go. Thank you, guys. I got a third one for you. So thank you. Thank you, guys. Thanks for being a part of the show. Thanks, bro. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. It's a great way to end it. If we could grab one more, my friend here, and we'll wrap up the Gary Stein and Stevens show. We're just fluid here. We got people coming, we got people going, we got people leaving. So a lot of fun, a lot of times here. You never know who's going to show up. And again, we just had Hall of Famer Marcus Allen dropping by, talking about mental health and also some very special memories. Let's pay a couple of bills. I'll come back and wrap up our day. You're watching Geary, Stein, and Stevens live on Radio Row.
Serendipity Yacht Cruises and Events wants you to come party with us. We're bringing the fun to the Houston Bay Area. Stay tuned for all of our incredible events throughout the year, featuring amazing food and drinks, live entertainment, special guests, and so much more. Fun, new, different. Serendipity Yacht Cruises and Events is where you want to be. So come party with us. It's more than a yacht. It's serendipity.
Introducing the world's first temporary airbrush tattoo kiosk, iTattoo, bringing wearable, shareable temporary body art to live events. iTattoo stands for Interactive Temporary Airbrush Tattoo Unit. The team is raising additional capital for this incredible iTattoo concept, putting ink on skin at scale. I'll say it again, folks, ink on skin at scale. This will be the coolest addition to any event, and imagine the reactions when you add body art to the mix. Cool kiosks for a large venue or event. And it's super sponsorable. If you or anyone is interested in talking about the cap raise or the unit itself, please reach out to Nathan or Chris at itattoo.life.
Hi, my name is Shaquille Duggar, and I'm the CEO and founder of Pi. My passion is and always has been helping people. That's why I created Pi. I wanted to devise solutions that would make it easier for businesses to become more efficient and effective to drive profitability, while at the same time helping the customers they serve. Our newest self-service solution is a perfect example of that collaboration. Business leaders told us they wanted a smaller alternative to the larger freestanding kiosks they already love, and we delivered with our newest product. A countertop device we call Eclair introduces space-saving, compactness, versatility, and convenience. When it comes to our self-service solutions industry specifically, we put considerable stock in a quote from Alan Key. People who are really serious about software should make their own hardware. That's Pi in a nutshell. To ensure we produce the best self-service options, we do it all, designing and developing our own hardware and software. The bulk of our business involves the food industry, catering to an evolving industry with technology that is ever evolving itself. Our customers aren't necessarily in traditional restaurant locations. They're in malls, food trucks, and pop-up stands. Additionally, we perform considerable research of consumer trends and behaviors, trying to forecast what they will want and need as it relates to self-service in the short and long term. It's challenging, but exciting and satisfying work. Visiting the restaurant of one of our partners and seeing customers effortlessly order and pay for food through a Pi kiosk puts a huge smile on my face. And it fuels to do more to further enhance their experience. Our latest kiosk designs are reflective of what we've learned, observed, and anticipated. We are designing attractive enclosures that make our kiosks hard to pass by. We're developing and installing intuitive software that's easy to use, and we're incorporating curved high-definition touchscreen that enhance visual quality. At Pi, our ultimate objective is to bring a personal approach to self-service solutions that also display our creativity and ability to devise great products. I introduce to you Pi's newest product, Eclair. Welcome to Pi.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap up our coverage for the day. Let me get in here a little bit. I just had to bring Kelly in because I'm kind of sad that my buddy is leaving. She's been over here all week long, grabbing interviews, grabbing the ones we share, and even many more that we didn't share. She went on her own. I'm so proud of this little lady. What are your thoughts?
Because of him.
You're not a rookie anymore.
I still feel like a little bit of a rookie, but because I have you to look up to and you help me, it makes a big difference. So I feel a little bit more confident this year, a little bit, but it gets easier as it goes. You know, it's hectic and everything's all at once, but it's good. It gets you ready.
And if you haven't seen, this is Kelly Williams from the Kelly Williams Show, which you can watch on New Home TV. And you're all over the place. Where else can you see this show?
Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn. They can just find it all over.
And she has a lot of content that she's going to be doing for months. And then we can't thank our sponsors enough.
Yes.
Serendipity Yachts, Cruises, and Events.
The best.
So it's really, we really, a shout out, give her an individual shout out. Talk to her. Talk to her
Yeah.
right now.
Hey, Lorraine and Serendipity Yacht Cruises and Events. We are so grateful for y'all and supporting me and Dave, the Kelly Beam Show, and Dave Stevens and Gary Stein, the Stevens Show. At Radio Row for these past couple of years. We are grateful, and it has been wonderful. And the power banks are a hit.
Yeah,
Aren't they?
And your entourage is almost as big as mine now with Mark and Shelly and everybody. I mean, when you're like, I need 32 credentials, I'm like, whoa.
I need 300, Dave. Yeah, exactly. I go because I got to keep up with you.
And so, how can they follow you on social media? Obviously, it's the same thing, but just give it.
Yeah, just at the Kelly Williams Show or the Kelly Williams TV Show, either one. I'm on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram.
All right,
So,
kid. Safe
thank
travels.
you, Dave. Thank
Say hi
you
to the
so
hubby.
much. I will. Great job.
All
Thank you
right.
so much for
Thank you so
everything.
much. And that's going to wrap up our coverage from Radio Row from day 5 here on Thursday. We got one more day tomorrow here, and then they get rid of the teams. They go prepare for the game. Troy and I'm not sure where we're going to be, but we'll be broadcasting somewhere. We'll give you a lot of great guests tomorrow. We got Kyle Turley. We have Lee Steinberg. We continue to give you the stars. So thank you guys for watching and supporting the Geary, Stein, and Stevens Show. We hope you follow us on all social media platforms. And hey, follow Dave Stevens Speaks. I do some funny stuff out there that you enjoy. So take care. And until tomorrow, this is Dave Stevens signing off for Troy and Will and everybody around here that's a part of the Disability Channel. We'll see you next time. We'll talk to you later.
There we go. Fire.